Welcome to our JEE second class. In this second class, we are going to discuss complex and demoviers. Dear students, previously we are discussed about binomial theorem. In binomial theorem, two questions pakka. Now in this also pakka minimum three questions. Complex quadratic. Why I am combining these two chapters means complex quadratic related questions they are going to ask. In complex, first of all, we are going to discuss complex numbers. A complex numbers, what is complex number? Z is equal to x plus iy is a complex number. X is called real part, y is called imaginary part. Imaginary part. X is called real part, y is called imaginary part. In this related to real and imaginary, one question pakka. For example, 2024, the question is given the sum of all possible values of theta belongs to minus pi to 2 pi, for which 1 plus I cos theta by 1 minus 2i sin theta is purely imaginary. See here, imaginary. This imaginary. Imaginary means what we have to take? Real part. Real part is equal to 0. So in this 1 plus I cos theta, 1 plus I cos theta by 1 minus 2I cos theta. Rationalize this one. Why rationalize means convert in the form of x plus iy. So real part 0 means you take y terms 0. So here 1 plus 2I cos theta by 1 plus 2I cos theta. I am taking only real part. Real part I am taking 0. What is real part? 1 I square minus 1 2 cos square theta. Denominator no need of taking. Why? Because if the denominator also the denominator must be not equal to 0. Here after simplification cos square theta is equal to 1 by 2. Cos theta is equal to plus or minus 1 by 2. Here is saying that theta belongs to minus pi to 2 pi. So theta is equal to minus pi by 4. Why? Because cos minus pi by 4, pi minus pi by 4. First you should take pi by 4, pi minus pi by 4. So pi plus pi by 4, pi by 4 this value, pi minus pi by 4 is 3 pi by 4, pi plus pi by 4 is pi by 4, and 2 pi minus pi by 4. What it should be? 2 pi minus pi by 4 is 7 pi by 4. 7 pi by 4. Next we are going to get, let us think about next topic in complex and demoviers theorem. See, the question is given recently, alpha beta are the roots of x square minus x plus 1 is equal to 0. Alpha power 101 plus beta. In each and every chapter, let us you see our previous last shifts 2024 compulsory related to omega related. See, omega value minus 1 plus I root 3 by 2, omega square minus 1 minus I root 3 by 2, omega cube is equal to 1 plus omega square equal to 0. Based on omega related, omega cube root unity, omega is cube root unity, omega cube is 1, omega power 3n, omega power 3n is equal to 1. Omega power 3n is nothing but omega power 3, omega power 6, omega power 9, omega power 12 and so on. So what is omega? Minus 1 plus I root 3 by 2. Some shortcuts remember. If the equation is given x square plus x plus 1 equal to 0, you take alpha is equal to omega, beta is equal to omega square. Here alpha, beta are the roots. The shortcut this is. If the given x square plus x plus 1 equal to 0, alpha is omega, alpha square is alpha, beta is omega square. Next, x square minus x plus 1 equal to 0. You take alpha is minus omega, beta is minus omega square. Why? Because minus omega satisfies to this equation. Next, another equation x square plus 2x plus 4 equal to 0. You take alpha is 2 omega. Why 2 omega means 2 to the 4 omega square, 4 omega, 4 common, will get the 0. So beta is omega 2, beta is 2 omega square. and last and least x square minus 2x plus 4 equal to 0. Alpha is minus 2 omega, beta is minus 2 omega. So in all competitive exams like BITSAT, ONEDO, whatever it is, competitive exam in JEE. So if is asking x square plus x plus 1 equal to 0, immediately you take alpha is omega, beta is omega. Remember these shortcuts. Remember this shortcut. For example, here the question is given x square minus x plus 1 equal to 0. So directly, actual method is what? Taking this one, using minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac. That is a lengthy process. That is a lengthy process. Directly, you take alpha is equal to minus omega, beta is equal to minus omega square. Now substitute here. Minus omega whole power 101 minus omega square 214. So 214. See here 214 omega square whole power 107 minus you take common omega power 101 omega power 240. Omega power 101 if you divide it by 3, 3 is a 9. So it should be omega square. It should be omega. Why? Because 3 7 is 21, 3 1 is 3, 1 should be left over, that is omega power 1. So omega plus omega plus omega square value is minus 1. So you write here minus 1, the final answer is 1. So what I am going to say, you remember this all the standards. The question, pakka my dears, in each and every shift, one question pakka in all the shifts. First one is what? X square plus x plus 1 equal to 0, alpha is what? Beta is what? X square minus x plus 1 equal to 0, alpha, beta. X square plus 2x, remember these standards. My means these shortcuts useful when the problem is doing in the very less time. So let us discuss about a purely quadratic equation related question. In this question is discussing about sum of the roots, product of the roots. We know sum of the roots, product of the roots formula ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, alpha plus beta minus b by a, alpha beta is equal to c by a. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a, alpha beta is c by a. Here alpha plus beta is equal to minus sin theta by 1, alpha beta is equal to minus 2 sin theta. So the question is given is asking this value. So alpha power 12, beta power 12. Alpha power 12, beta power 12. Here LCM is what? Alpha power 12, beta power 12. Okay, it should be beta power 12, alpha power 12. And it should be what? Alpha minus beta whole power 24. So these both are cancelled. It should be alpha power 12, beta power 12 by, it can be written as alpha minus beta whole square whole to the power of 12. So alpha minus beta whole square. So it can be written as alpha beta whole power 12. Alpha minus beta whole square is what? Alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta. Got it or not, my dear students? Over. Here alpha plus beta. So the quadratic equation sum of the roots product. This is the recently given Jee Mains question. Alpha plus beta is minus b by a, alpha beta. So the question is, when we are seeing alpha power 12, beta power 12, looking like complicated. First make into simplest form. Alpha power minus 12 is 1 by alpha power 12, beta power minus 1 by. Taking LCM, both will be cancelled, it will be go up. So here 24 is there, here 24 is there, here 12 is there. What I am writing, 24 can be written as 2 into 12. So a power m by b power m, a by b whole power m. So alpha minus beta whole square is alpha plus beta whole square. Here alpha beta is what? Here alpha beta is minus 2 sin theta by alpha plus beta minus sin theta whole square, that is sin square theta. After substituting alpha beta value minus 2 sin theta, alpha plus beta value minus sin theta, here alpha beta value I am substituting here minus 2 sin theta. Here sin theta cancel, minus whole power 12. It should be plus. No need of doing all the steps, my dear. Memory based on questions. Memory maximum you are going to use. You are going to do very less steps. Minus power 12 even is plus. This is the final answer. So my dear students, alpha plus alpha beta related. In quadratic equation, very simple. Alpha beta, real roots, imaginary roots. One check out. I'm going to send one more video related to real roots and imaginary roots today once you revise this one.